That's Marvin Gaye, and My Love Is Waiting. And we're waiting for your love, of course, your love. You'll find it right here at Hanover Street. This is Heart, coming at you live from Hanover Street. We're having a very special tribute concert to Tony Schilder. Live from Hanover Street out at Grand West, of course. Now, this is the deal. There's a 50 Rand cover charge if you don't have an MVG card. That MVG card allows you free access to Leslie Klainsmith's gig every Sunday night. Tonight, however, we're going to insist that you donate whatever you can donate to the Tony Schilder project that we have going. Leslie Klainsmith, of course, a very special tribute to Tony Schilder with a great band at Hanover Street. So come on down here. The place is really rocking. It's a lekker place to be. And Williams Rezant joins me from the Western Cape Musicians Association.
That's correct.
I was sick last week, and I wasn't in the studio, and I needed to chat with you on Friday about stuff that you do.
That's correct, yeah.
Just keep that thing really close to you, yeah. Otherwise, everybody else's voice is going to get in there. Tell us a little bit about the Western Cape Musicians Association.
Okay, first of all, thank you to yourself and to Hart for this opportunity, Clarence. The Western Cape Musicians Association is an association that was established about 5 years ago. And basically through the illness of the late Robert Jansen, we had a group of volunteers who started this organization through provincial government, which is the government of the Western Cape, the then Premier Ibrahim Rasool, who then decided that we should have some sort of organization that look after our legends, especially in Cape Town and in the Western Cape. So the birth of the Western Cape basically came through Robbie's illness about 5 years ago.
Okay, and support from Premier Zilla, is that on?
The support from provincial government, yes. We are an NGO, which means that we are funded through the Department of Cultural Affairs and Sport.
They're looking after you, that's my question.
That is correct.
Okay,
yeah.
Because if they're not, then we can scale with them now, Zuma. Okay, so William, this particular initiative is going to assist Tony, but I believe Basil's also sick, and tomorrow we're going to hear of more problems. Are you looking to get to a space where you can respond to the needs of musicians that are in distress in the future?
Clarence, that is one of our challenges in the Western Cape and in Cape Town in particular. Now that we've, for this last couple of months, we've experienced a trying time, especially with the death of the late Robert Jansen. Just after him was Ezra Kukana, and we had quite a few others that followed. Now, because the association is a Section 21 company, we are dependent on support from government and other organizations. So the challenge that we at the moment are going through is particular to assist our current musicians, especially those who aren't well. Tony, we've been supporting him for the last couple of years as an association, and the illness had just been, he's been through.
This is not the first initiative. There's been 3 initiatives for him,
exactly.
But it's been a prolonged illness and prolonged costs.
That is correct, yeah. And just what he's been through now has just realized, or made us realize, we need to, as musicians and the music fraternity, need to rally around our legends and our older musicians has been so instrumental in the Cape Town and in the Western Cape. And what we're planning to do is to actually look at how we can sustain, number one, the organization, and sustain and support our musicians, the legends in particular, and their families.
How's Basil Moses doing?
Basil is doing well. He has been in hospital a couple of weeks ago. And what has happened now, he's been discharged. Also Basil, because of his illness, and what he has got is what we've got called prostate cancer. And he's at the point where he's now going for treatment at Grootske Hospital. And they also need support because, as you know, with the chemo and all of that goes with it. Yeah. We were fortunate as an association just to manage to get him just about a couple of months ago also government pension. And that's one of the other challenges that our musicians are facing, which is the financial support from government.
I'm going to turn to your comrade in arms here, but a man who himself has committed his life to the genre, to music and to jazz specifically, is an owner of the G-Spot, which is around the corner over here. You've been pretty passionate about, and really you've been rallying the troops in support of musicians through the times. How do you feel at this point? I feel helpless. How do you feel? I can't hear you. Maybe you should take his microphone.
Clarence, yes, indeed. I can resonate with exactly what you're saying. I feel exactly the same way. I mean, opening up a venue for musicians has been the passion for musicians, you know. But really, at this point in time, what can I say? We've been rallying, trying to help. I mean, there was a time when our venue was closed, when we had fundraisers and benefits. But I mean, it's something that we don't want to do for years. Hence the fact that I've also become involved with the Western Cape Musicians Association, so I kind of wear two different hats. But
not really.
But my passion for the musicians, you know, the affinity for the musicians, and seeing what they're going through. And I mean, we've lost so many of them in the past couple of months. You know, all I can say is it would be great if we could have the public to assist us, not just the public but government, arts and culture, with all the things that's happening in government, the changes that's going through government. You stand there helpless. You try as an organization, we try as friends of Tony Schilder to come together and assist. But I mean, that's just not enough, you know. We need so much more.
Yeah, well, I think you've kind of summed it up. So hopefully, I think let's ask the question: are you moving to a space as the Western Cape Musicians Association, and are the stakeholders, our government, assisting you to be able to deliver on your mandate effectively?
I don't think government is doing enough. I think we've
spoken to Helen.
We've spoken to quite a few people. Look, I don't really do the talking. I think we send William out into the field. We have the guns, but we send him out into the field. I think he can tell you a little bit more. But I feel, besides government and involving government, there's so much more organizations that we've spoken to that we're seeking. You know, we're looking for help. I mean, this initiative that you guys are doing here, this is just one of them. But we can do so much more. And I like the fact that we love what we do, and by the fact that we love what we do, we can help others at the same time.
I think let's rest it there. I think there's going to be nice developments from this. I've spoken with, kiss me, baby, kiss me. I've spoken with my boss. My boss is quite keen to assist wherever Heart can assist your particular mission as the Western Cape Musicians Association. So that's really good stuff, and let's hope we can develop some mechanism to be able to give you the sustainability that you want, William.
Yeah, Clarence, yes, thank you for that, and I really appreciate it. You know, one of the challenges, and I'm in particular going to refer to Tony, is that he's been through a trying time, especially his wife Val, and both of them are over 60, you know, and what is happening now is that, you know, that we're at a point where we really need to see how we as musicians and the fraternity can rally around and try and sustain that family. That's number one. However, coming back to provincial government, yes, I don't think they are doing enough, and I think we can get more support for them if they, in fact, because they've started this initiative, I think they should try and sustain us on a more, at a higher level as well.
No, I agree with you completely. I don't think we appreciate our artists as well, and I think we need to, you know, we need to do some serious introspection, all of us in Cape Town. Because if we don't like our artists, we don't like ourselves. Because the artists are a reflection of society. They are a reflection of ourselves. And if we don't like them, we don't want to help and pay for them, we really don't like ourselves. So there's a bit of self-hate there, isn't there?
Exactly. I think that is a big challenge, especially in Cape Town, is giving recognition to our artists and especially to our legends. You know, we just don't want to be specific to jazz, but, you know, the music fraternity in general is that we need to support them. And, you know, our community, the families, need to really support our local artists and really realize that, you know, if we don't do that, you know, what would happen is that what we're sitting with now is, number one, they cannot sustain themselves. Number two is most of our artists move out of Cape Town and trying to make a living in, you know, in other provinces.
And we lose that wonderful creative, and I find so many artists. I see some people with Dana's living in Cape Town as well. So many of the great artists are coming here for inspiration. Jimmy did the same story.
Clarence, one of the other things is this non-paying culture that we have, that you know, exists in Cape Town. This non-paying culture. People want to, when we have something like this, then everybody wants to run and support and assist and suddenly put their hands into their pockets. But I mean, when you're having events all around Cape Town at different venues, I mean, there's so many different venues. There's nice venues, there's up-and-coming artists, there's established artists. But we need to go out and we need to support, we need to put our hands into our pockets. Some of them have sustained themselves by producing their own CDs, because not all of them are getting the record deals that they desire. But I mean, if we can go out there and go and support them, go into these little small gigs where there are, these guys are arranging their own gigs. And then maybe in future you want to have these kind of things happening to artists as they go older.
Absolutely. We're going to have to rest it right there. Thank you, Calvin Peters of the G-Spot and Western Cape Musicians Association. And Williams Rezant is the MMWC. No, you're the main man. What count? Yeah.
CEO.
CEO. That one, yeah. He's the CEO of the Western Cape Musicians Association. Good luck to you.